Now, thank you, my lord. May I proceed?
Yeah.
Now, Colonel Mangena, before we took a break, we were talking about what are known as known matches and a known non-match. And then you had described those for us and how they work. Now, with regard to these two concepts, the 8 test fires that you fired, will they be known matches then?
There will be known matches, my lord.
Okay.
Sorry, lama-test awu-8 ke engawenza ngawadubula ilana ke ekuzothiwa ke ilana aziwayo noma ke ama-known.
Now, for your examination, comparison, and findings, let's concentrate on the 6 CMJs. How the sequence of how you conducted this examination. Did you fire 2 shots and then you go to the comparison microscope and compare with, once you find the marks, striations, impressions, you go to the firearm, you compare with the exhibit firearm. What was the procedure? I need to get that in my mind.
The procedure on?
You fire the 2 tests, right? The test fires. Then you go to the microscope and compare the 2 tests between themselves, right? You compare test 1 and, say, for example, test 3 and 4, where they fired from the same make of bullet.
My lord, I took 8 cartridges.
Yes.
And I marked them, because I took 2 from each, 2 from NGA, 2 from Sailor and Ballot, then the 2 from PMP, which were the FMJs, and then the other 2 I can't recall the manufacturer.
Yes.
And then I marked them all, and then I fired test on them.
Yes.
And then before I could do that, I've compared my test with Warrant Officer Rule Officer's test first, the FMJs.
Yes.
And then I started with the other.
Engakwenza ke lana ukuthi ke ngithathe kulama ahlukahlukene ke ngithathe 2 ngisakhumbula ke enye ke ngiyazi NGA i-Celio i-PMP ngase kodwa ngaphambili kokuthi ngikwenzeke lokho ngaqala ngaqhathanisa i-test leyami kanye naleyo ka Rule Officer.
So what I'm trying to get is that you fired 3 to 10 consecutively, or you took breaks in between, went back to the mic and microscope and fired 2, or was it consecutive in the tank, 3 up to 10?
I fired from 3 up to 10
Okay,
at once.
all right.
Ngadubula ke ukusuka ke ku3 ayofika ke ku10 ngesikhathi esisodwa.
Then from there, take us through how you went about your comparison there.
I started comparing the FMJs first with
Yes.
Warrant Officer Rule Officer's test.
Ngaqale ngase ngiqhathanisa ke manje i-FMG ne-test ka Warrant Officer Rule Officer.
And after that, I started with the exhibit bullet, started comparing it with all the other tests.
Ngase ngiqala ke manje ke ngenhlamvu lena ke eyizibithi ngiqhathanisa yona ke kanye nawo onke amanye ama-test.
Let me come back a bit, and this is for clarification as well, because I told you I'm a novice in this thing. The 3 to 10 that you fired, before you do the comparison, do you compare them amongst themselves to see whether similar marks were imparted on them?
Well, I compared them with, I didn't compare them among themselves first.
Yes.
I compared them with the exhibit bullet that I had.
Oh,
because
okay.
I know it's a known match,
Okay.
because they were all fired by myself.
Okay.
Lana ke ngona ke ngoba zona zonke lezi kwadujulwa yimina ke yimini umuntu wayetesta ngase ngiqhathanisa ke nenhlamvu lena eyizibithi.
All right. So let's go to, and I'm going to request Advocate Baloyi. I requested that yesterday to assist us with the court charts that you prepared. And I'm going to ask you to take us through and show us, because in your testimony last year in August, when you testified about your findings, you said in the first one, and we didn't know what the first one was, or personally, I didn't know what the first one you were referring to. You stated that in the first one, you found 6 consecutive matching stria or striations in the same relative position. Is that my understanding of your evidence?
That's correct.
Yebo ngasho ukuthi ke lokuqala ke aze yoqala kodwa ke ukuthi wathola ke awu-6 ahlanganayo lokhu kubizwa ngokuthi ama-tolerations. Yebo uqinisile.
So when we refer to the first one in terms of the court charts that were submitted, are we then referring to what is marked Exhibit X13E1 on top? I'm not sure if what you have has been marked, but the court ones have been marked so that we are on the same page. The one that has got the lab number, I think the lab numbers are the same, 217, 267 of 14 and 34369 of 15. Are we talking about this one? Are we on the same page? Is this the same one, the first page of this exhibit that is displayed there?
That's correct, ma'am.
Yes, now, Colonel, I'm not sure whether you're going to be audible because we've gone through this exercise with our expert who's present in court for you to show us the 6 matching striae that you said you found on that exhibit. And also for purposes of clarification, the one on the left, because there's this division line, the one on the left is the exhibit bullet, and the one on the right is the test bullet, correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Yes.
Lena-ke engaku-left ilona-ke leli inhlamvu eyizibiti bese kuthi leyana ilena-ke ethesta ngayo.
Yeah, so if you can go, I'm not sure whether you've got a pointer that you can show at us, and just for the sake of background purposes, the method that you used, the 6 striations that you say you found, the criteria that you used is CMS, correct?
Yes, I use the CMS only.
Okay.
Shilo ukuthi lana ngasebenzisa yona-ke i-CMS.
So if you can kindly, Colonel, show us, I don't know whether you've got something to line up with to show us that these are the 6 striations that I'm talking about. Yeah, you can.
Must
you
I
can-
move to the...
Yeah, you can, Colonel. I'm not sure whether
Senzo is not gonna pick up on the moves.
it's not going to pick up. Is this not movable?
No point.
No.
Sure. How far does it go?
Let me try to use... it's not a point, it's a laser. But I can try with the laser. My lord, I can try with the laser too.
With,
With the laser point.
so what you're saying, you're saying his sound or voice won't come up to here because can you speak up?
Yeah,
Colonel?
it won't
Let's do it this way. Go there to the board. And as loud as you can shout, answer the council's question, right? Hello?
Yes, my lord.
And then thereafter, you repeat it to be recorded in the microphone so that it can be recorded. So the first one, you can shout like you're relating pirates.
He can use this microphone, it's been made available to him.
Yeah, so that the second one, then you talk so that when he tests whether you have recorded what you were saying previously, it can show that.
My lord, when I look at...
So sorry, Colonel, before you start, your conclusion or findings was that you found matches on TB5 and TB9, correct?
Yes, as I have marked them here. If you look at on my left hand side, it's
Yes.
the exhibit bullet, which is marked 217, 267, stroke 14A2.
Lana-ke iyona-ke inhlamvu lena ngithi-ke iyona-ke iyizibiti noma-ke iyona le eyatholakala emakiwe-ke lapha ku-217 267 1482.
And the test bullet is this one. Which is marked,
Yes.
Test bullet is marked 369 TB5.
Iyona-ke lena engathesta ngayo-ke inhlamvu ewu-369 TB5.
Okay.
Now, when you do microscopic comparison, when you look at them, what you're doing is you are not just set them and look at them, you move them also. You must move if you see if your markings, your striations continue to the side, not only on one spot.
Futhi ke uma ukwenza ke lokhu ukuthi ke uyibheke ke awubambi indawoni eyodwa ke kodwa ke uyahamba hambisa ubheka ke ukuthi lama marks lana awekho endaweni eyodwa.
In terms of sequence, let's do it this way because I want to be precise and understanding. First, and I'm not sure if it's the same procedure that you used. You've got the test, right? And then you take it to the ocular comparison microscope and you see firstly at the best marks that you can use for comparison. Am I making sense?
My lord, when you start searching, you cannot just start with the best mark. You start looking at the
Yes,
marks
around.
that are
Yes.
visible, that you
Yes.
can see.
Yes.
Sorry, let me suggest something. Tell the witnesses and myself and everybody in court, how did you go about testing using the microscope, moving it above, testing the exhibit bullets and the ones, CMJs and, okay.
Thank you, my lord. I
So
mean, that
explain that way. Then he can cross-examine you, tell you that you were wrong to do this, so it never happens, blah, blah.
My lord, what I did is I took the exhibit bullet and put it on the microscope on my left-hand side.
Right.
And then I took the test bullet and put it on the microscope on my right-hand side. When you look through the eyepiece, you can see both items at the same time.
Ongakwenza ukuthi ke ngathatha le inhlamvu le ekuleft ke ngayibeka ke kuyona microscope le engibheka ngayo kuyisandla sami sokunxele ngathatha leya test ngayibeka ke ngaku right uma ke ubheka kuyona ke leyo microscope leyo uzibona zombili esikhathi esisodwa.
Right, you can start with your exhibit bullet. Try and look at the marks that is visible, that you can see clearly, that you can identify on your exhibit bullet.
Okwenzayo ke uqala ngalo izibithi leli ke inhlamvu lena ubheke ke ama marks abonakalayo kuyona.
And once you have a mark that you see on the striations that you can see clearly on your exhibit bullet, you go to your right-hand side on your test bullet. You start checking on all the grooves one by one. We can see the identical marks on your exhibit bullet, on your test bullets.
Usibonile ke manje ke leyo mark noma lawo ama marks ke lana usuya ke kusandla sakho sokudla ke ubheke ke kuona ke ama grooves ukuthi ke ngaba uyabona yini lawo ama marks lawo usuwabonile ke kusandla sokunxele.
Right, once you have seen the identical marks on both items, on your exhibit and on your bullet, you start counting how many are they or how clear are they, or you look at the quality of your markings or that you can see, or even the quantity of how many are they. Then when you start moving your exhibit, you move both of them simultaneously to the next groove. You check the next groove.
Okwenzekayo ke usuwabonike lo ma marks uyawabheka ke ukuthi ke kanjani ke mangaki ke futhi ke ila uqala khona ke manje ukuthi ke usuyahambisa ke wahambisa omabili ke ngesikhathi esodwa.
And on the next group, you look at the markings. If there are any markings that can, if you can't see clearly the marks or there's no, you turn now to the next group. So moving to your groups, you must move on both items at the same time. You cannot move one and then leave the other one because your marks must be relatively on the same position. So if it's on group number 1, it must be on group number 1. If it's on group number 3 on this one, it must be on group number 3 on this one.
Ingakho ke kufanele uma ke usujikelezisa ke ukwenze kokubili ke ngesikhathi esodwa ukwazi ukuthi uhambise yodwa enye uyimiseke ngoma uma ukuthi leyo mark leyo iku group number 1 nangala kufanele be ku group 1 ba ku group 3 nangala ulindele ukuthi be ku group 3 ingakho kufanele uyihambise ngesikhathi esodwa.
And when looking at that, you can see a pattern that matches on both sides. Not necessarily the striation, but you can see even a pattern, that this pattern also appears on this. You match that pattern, it must be also be in relative the same position.
Futhi ke la ubona khona ke naloko bakubiza ngokuthi ke indlela ke noma ke lokho kubiza ngokuthi ke ipattern ke futhi nokuhamba kwayo ukuthi kufanele ukuthi kube sendaweni noma ke position eyodwa.
You don't have to find 6 on all the grooves, or in some of the grooves you can find 2 or 3 that matches to 2 or 3. as long as they are on the same relative position when you rotate all of them.
Ayikho ke into ethi kufanele ke kuzo zombili ke uthole ke u6 ke kwenye ke usungathola u2 kodwa nje ukuthi uma uyijikelezisa uyathola ukuthi lokho kusendaweni eyodwa.
Okay. Now, let's move to the 6 striae that you said you found on TB9.
On TV
This one.
5,
That is this. Is this TB5 the one that is displayed? Is it TB5?
my lord, as I said, when you look at them, you don't just look at one point,
Yes.
you also move them to a side.
Yes.
Now, there are, in some instances, you can see your marks clearly towards the edge of the bullet. But when you look into this one, the same marks that you see on this, because it's a striation, it continues to, you can see clearly towards the front of the bullet, not towards the back of the bullet.
Ingakho ke bengithe uma ukuhambisa lokhu kokuhambisa ngesikhathi esisodwa ke ngoba uma ukuthi ke uyawabona lapha ezantsi kweni nalena uma usuyihambisa nayo ke uyayibona ke uma isiya ke ngaphambili ke hayi ngemuva kuyona inhlamvu.
Colonel, I'm not sure whether you still have exhibit 4 on you, which is the exhibit bullet, and show us this part on the left relative to the bullet, whether it's at the base, in the middle, or at the front. I'm not sure if you've got it.
Which one?
The exhibit bullet, the actual projectile that was fired. If you can use that to demonstrate your explanation.
I'll rather use this.
Oh, the big one, yes. Yeah, show us with the model big one, yes.
Now, when your bullet went through the barrel of a firearm, when you speak of the grooves, we are speaking of this. The striations are these lines inside your grooves.
Yilokho ke sikhuluma ngakho kuma sikhuluma ngama-striations ilama line la angaphakathi kuyona igroove yakho.
Now, when you do your comparison microscope, your exhibit will be on your left, your test will be on your right.
Yes.
When you look through the microscope, you can see them as if they are joined together.
Uma ubheka ke lokho ubheka ke onye eku left enye ku right manje ke uhlanganisa zombili uma uzibuka.
Right, let's say these are the best marks or the clear marks that you can see on your exhibit bullet. Now you start rotating the test bullet to see if you can see any matching striations on this one that can continue with this one.
Asithi ke manje ke lana ke engiwabhekile ke iwona ke ama marks wakho ekuwona wona ke manje usuzosebenzisa lena ke kuhlangothi la ngakwesokudla ke ubheke ukuthi akhona yini owatholayo ke afanayo nala.
Now if you haven't matched, like it's a continuation from that side to this
Yes.
side, you start moving them together to the next groove. Is the next groove matching? Now in this instance, what you see, the idea that is there, it's towards the back of the, somewhere here.
Lokho kubonayo la yilo wathi kungasemuva ke lana kuyona ke lokho kubonakalayo la.
Okay.
Now if you look at your bullets towards the front,
Uma uyibheka inkambi yakho ke phambili
I just want to point out something.
Yeah,
that
fine.
you see. Now when you look at your striation line,
Use that,
The laser.
the laser.
it's not clear.
It's not clear. Okay, fine,
It's
fine.
not clear.
All right, fine, okay.
When you look at the first one, you see this, the second one continues to that.
Yeah, the first line.
uma ubheka ke lo line lo uyaqhubeka ke ukuya ngale.
Now when you look at this one, there's two others here, but they're not visible, they're not very clear, but they continue there towards the front.
Ubheka lana kasenzansi ke uma ubheka ngalena ke awacacile kodwa uma ubheka ngalena ke aya ngokubonakala.
You have this one that continues straight.
Unale ya straight ngale.
It's this side and it's that side. You have here, yeah, this side is not that clear, but on that other side it's clear.
Lana ngala ayicacile kodwa ngale iyabonakala.
And my lord, it all goes with experience and training that you have received.
Lokhu ke konke kuhamba ke ngesipiliyoni ke kanye futhi ke noqeqeshwa okutholayo.
And we've said that those striations that match must be in the same relative area, correct?
In the same relative area, yes, they're in the same relative area.
position.
Ngishilo ukuthi la lokho kuhlanganayo noma ke ngathi kufanele ukuthi kube sendaweni engathi indawo eyodwa.
Because what I did not get, I'm not sure which line. Is it possible to numerically identify the lines that you've seen, the striations? Should I, my lord, I beg leave to move me closer here. I want to see something. Do you want to have a look? My lord, we beg leave just to be closer here. Yeah, wait for Mr. Piselso to get his. I was wondering if we can also go patch ourselves somewhere so that we can also
Yes, yes,
follow
yes, yes. No problem.
the explanation.
No problem.
Thank you, my lord. Here's a bad thing.
Hey, I want to hear everything which is said in this court. No whispering.
No, he was saying that.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Okay, my lord.
I want to
sorry
hear
about
that because that's evidence.
Sorry, my lord, about that. Yeah, Colonel, you can then approach the monitor and point at the lines for us.
When you look at the first one,
The first try,
the first two that runs like a rail train.
first two
Train, the rail, what, train rail.
train, yeah.
These two here. Come back, I don't think it's clear, but we continue looking towards it. There they are.
On the right, they are clear. On the left, sorry. On the,
they are clear.
and when they move towards the right,
Towards the dividing line.
that's it.
They are not the-
They become fainter.
they become faint.
Right.
And they are clear again here towards the front of the bullet.
Uma uqala ke lama lana akhuluma ngawufinele lana ayabonakala. Kodwa ke lana awabonakali kodwa ukuqhubekayo uya ngaphambili kwemthambo aphinde ayavela futhi.
Right.
We have a third one, this third one that continues towards the side.
Kube nalena ke futhi eqhubekayo yona ke iyophumela ngale.
Is that on the top of the left? Is that the third one is on top?
This one.
Yeah. Is it the top? It's not the top.
No, it's on the same group.
Okay, fine. All right.
It continues, but when it gets towards the, yeah, it's not that clear, but when you continue to it, it's also clear again.
Okay.
Iyaqhubeka ke ngala sekuya ngalena ke ilangona khona ukuthi iyavela.
On the right side, it's half clear,
Yes, just after the dividing line, it's half clear.
and then
it becomes clear.
it becomes fainter.
Yeah, it becomes faint and it
It's
becomes
fainter
clear again.
when you start. It starts on the medium line. When
When
it,
after passing this dividing line,
it becomes faint.
it becomes a little bit faint,
That's it.
and then it picks up again.
And then it picks up. Yeah.
Uma unje wecha ke kulo line ke lokho sikwanisayo ke ila engacaci khona kodwa ukuqhubeka ke ila iphinde ibonakala khona.
And we come to this one, man. It's also visible this side, straight.
Bese siza kulona lo line manje uyabonakala ngapha noqhubeka ke uya ngale.
It's visible all around.
That's correct.
Indawo yonke.
And when you look up here, it's this one. It starts here. It continues to that side.
Musuqhubeka ke uya phezulu kuyo yana ke iyaqala ngala akule iyaqhubeka iya ngale.
Yes, I'm with you.
And here, it starts here. This side is not clear, but it starts here. When you go towards the front, it continues to towards the front again.
Lo akhomba yeo ke ila ukuthi ngala awucaceleke kodwa uma uya ngale na ke kula uyaqhubeka ke.
Okay.
And all these are on one groove, my lord.
Konke lokho ke kulokhu eyodwa.
What do you call those so that we all understand? Striations.
Uma kubizwa lo kuthiwa ngama-striation.
Right. Okay.
Now, Colonel, sorry,
At
sorry.
the end of the experiment. Okay.
Thank you, my lord. Now, Colonel, with respect to this TB5 and the test bullet as well, the striae that we've just counted and referred to, are they matching consecutively according to you?
That's correct. Mina ke ngokwami ke lokhu ke kuyahlangana ke ngokuhambisana noma yeah kuyahlangana.
Okay. So this one, we are saying that you found 6 matching consecutive striae.
That's correct. Mina ke ngathola eziwu-6 maka amahlaya awu-6 ke ahlangana.
And then are those the 6 ones that you pointed out? How many did you point during this exercise here?
In 7 la ngoba ngiqeda ukukhomba ke la ngaba ku-7.
Okay. Then let's go to the one that you referred to that I'm not sure which one is going to be, because in your evidence in chief previously you said on the other one you found 5. So I don't know which other one you found 5. Can we, from the exhibits, show us which one you found 5?
It's on E4.
E4 ila enshilo ke khona ke fakazama ukuthi ngathola ke 5.
Show it, let's see it.
Is this what we are referring to?
That's correct. Ngibona lokho engikhuluma ngakho.
Again, Colonel, I'm going to ask you to repeat the same exercise by approaching the monitor and showing us precisely those 5 matching striations.
We'll start with this one. It's there and it continues to that side.
Sizoqala ke ngale ukhombeke le senzansi iqala ngalabo le iyaqhubeka ke ngale.
We have this one that continues from this side. Also, the 2 that runs like a rail train.
Bese sibanga lezi ezimbili ke nazo ke siqala ngabo lo hlangothi ke la se left iyaqhubeka ke ngale.
We have this one, which is the 4th one.
Sibeke nale nake ekhombayo ukuthi yesine yona.
And we have the 6th one, which is on, the 5th one, which is on top.
Bese ba nale nake yehlanu ephezulu yona.
And are you confirming that those 5 are consecutively matching striae as well?
That's correct. Nazo ke lezo ke nazo ke ziyahlangana zihambisana.
Then finally, regarding this chart, Colonel, can we go to the one that you said you found 2 matching striae?
When you use the word conservatively, what do you intend? I know what you want to say, but is that the correct word?
Consecutive, that's the criteria, my
No,
lord.
consecutively.
Consecutive.
Oh, fine, yeah, it's the Z which
matching.
confuses me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't come up with me, my lord. It's the term that they use in the field. I'm not using it.
If you look at E2 and E3, it's the same one. It's just that the
E2?
magnification is not the same.
Sorry. E
E2
and
and E3.
Lana ke sikhuluma ngayo E2 kanye no E3.
Ah, what? The same?
It's the same groove, but
Yeah.
the magnification are not the same. I didn't use the same magnification. Well, I'm trying to enlarge it so that it can be clear.
Okay, but they are in the same group.
It's the
as
same
you say.
groove. It's on the same groove.
Fine.
Lana ke sikhuluma ngegroove eyodwa ke kodwa la bengizama ukuthi ngenze enkulu khona ke icace bonakaleke akufani konje.
You don't have a microscope with you here. You don't have.
No, my lord.
No, I was just thinking. Or a magnifying glass. You don't have.
No, I don't have the
So
magnifying
that a
glass.
doubting Thomas like me can take it and go and look at it and see what you are saying when you say it's there in the same group, but you didn't magnify it because you wanted it to be clearer. Am I quoting you correctly, sir?
no.
That's but I took it, the magnification is not I didn't
Important.
use the same lenses. In one you can see, then the other one I try to enlarge it so that it can be a bit clearer.
So one is enlarged.
The magnification.
Right,
When you
yeah.
use the smaller magnification,
That's it.
you can see it, but you can't see it. When you increase your magnification,
Yeah, it becomes
like
diffuse.
you bring it closer so you can see them better.
Ukuthi yenzeke igameke ibenkuluke mangisebenzisa ke amaglass ahlukeneke enyeke kwenye noma le encane yona ke ayibonakala ngokucaceleke kodwa enyeke mangabe bangathi yasondela ke ibankulu.
But they are also predicated on the same principle that they have to be on the same level.
That's correct, Malo. They are
Yeah,
on the same level.
On
and
the same level, so that we
relative-
mustn't think some of
on the
us
same
that
relative
they are,
position.
they are haphazard. They are on the same level, as you said, that's the principle.
That's
And then-
correct, Malo.
And then you move them together in the sense of the scope, the microscope, when you
Microscope.
move them also.
That's correct, Malo.
Fine.
Njengoba ngishilo ukuthi kufanele ukuthi zibe ku level eyodwa ke uma sowuhambisa ke ngayo ke microscope ukubheka ke ukuthi sendaweni eyodwa.
So with respect to what you say, they are the same groove, one to different magnification, E2 and E3. Which one between them is the larger magnification?
E3, you can see, but you can't see it exactly clearer as E2.
Ku E3 uyayibona kodwa ayiboni ke ngokugqamileke njengoba uyibona ku E2.
Which one is this now? The one that is displayed, Colonel, if you can look at the monitor, is this
That's
the,
E3.
that's the magnified
E3
one?
lona.
Is this the magnified one? I mean the.
That's the E3, yes.
Okay, and then if you then approach the monitor again and say, if you can see the two striae that you said you saw consecutively there.
You can see these two, man.
Lezi ezimbili uyayibona.
What are those?
Those are the striations created by the groove of the father.
Ilawo amastraya ayiziwe yiyona ke igroove yaso ispan.
Let me return then to my okay. All right, and let's go back, Colonel, in respect of the first where you identified 6, 5, and 2 retrospectively. Respectively. Where are the individual characteristics as opposed to those characteristics here? What
Those
were
are
we-
the individual
were we looking
characteristics.
for
The
individual
ones that I was
characteristics?
pointing out to you, it's individual characteristics.
And
Lokho engicela ukukhomba noma lokho bengikhombile la ngaphambi iwona ke la characteristics awodwa ke engikhuluma ngawo ukuthi iwona abhekwayo.
And even E2 and E3, the ones that you say are similar, are also individual characteristics.
That's correct, madam.
Kanye naye ke E2 no E3.
And then let's go to E4 and E5, because I want to know how many identifications have you made. E4 and E5, are they one and the same thing or different things?
E4 and E5 is the same markings with different magnification.
U-E4 no E5 ama markings ke afanayo ke kodwa ke uma uwabheka uwenza amakhulu ke ahlukile.
Thank you, my lord. Let me return to my station. My lord, I'm going to request that we take, having had the exercise done, to take instructions from our experts so that I can continue with my
You want me
cross-examination.
to read?
What's our time?
What's your time there, sir?
8 to 3, my lord.
20 to 3.
You want me to adjourn, or what do you want me
Yes,
to do?
yes, my lord.
For how long? Forever or when?
Uh,
2 weeks?
Until 3, my lord, it's 22.
Until 22. What's the time now?
Until 3, it's 22 3, my lord.
Until 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Is that okay?